Okay. Chapter 990 just happened. And let me tell you, it was a banger. It was an absolute banger of a chapter. Oda never ceases to amaze me. He always surprises me. We can never guess what's going on in this man's mind. And there's so many things to talk about, from X Drake to the 1% to the fights that are being foreshadowed. Neko and Dogstorm getting ready to take on Jack. Kaido just standing there watching the Mink army. We already know. Luffy hopping in and out of Gear 4 like it's nothing. Let's talk about it, man.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
So, all right. Look, there's some things I want to talk about in this chapter. I want to glance over some things, right? Sasaki first. It's the first thing we really see him drinking, him being freed from the chains, and he talked about his relationship with Denjiro and how he looked at him as a close friend, and now it's disappointing to him that he feel like he has to take down Denjiro because he considers him a traitor now. I think, first of all, that smoothes things out for me, right? Because as you recall in the chapter, I forget what chapter it was, when Denjiro first did chain down Sasaki, I was saying, why the hell is he chaining down Sasaki instead of just taking him down, getting him out of here, deleting a problem? And now with this dialogue from Sasaki, we understand that Sasaki looked at Denjiro as a close friend, and I'm pretty sure Denjiro is a pretty honorable guy, probably looked at him as a close friend within the nightmare he was living for 20 years. So that's understandable. And now I think that is a fight that is being set up for us. Denjiro versus Sasaki. We thought the Toby Robo was right there. We thought the Flying Six was right there strictly for the Straw Hats. We're seeing that that's not really the case. It looked like it's going to be a bunch of outside factors just fighting each other. Whoever match up. And it looked like other people are matching up with the Flying Six. And I got another fight that I think is highly likely to happen later on in the video. We transition, right? And we see Jack, the woolly mammoth beast he actually is. Just just taking on a whole army of Sulong minks. And he looks pretty fierce. But as you go down into some more panels, you see Huff. Jack is tired. Jack is struggling. Jack is in a bad situation right now. Kinemon was ready to go over there and take down Jack himself because he's seen an opportunity because he looks weak. Neko and Dogstorm. We got this, Kinemon. They poured up like, yo, we got this. He came to our home, disrespected our home, and think he not ready to get this work? And they ready to try to bank him when Jack tired and hurt. Oh yeah. And I think Jack got something in his bag. He ain't just gonna go down like that. Jack got some things in his bag. Unless this is ready to just be a showcase for the ultimate Sulong minks. If it's ready to be a showcase, then fair enough. But I think this should be a real fight. I don't think Jack is going to go down easily. And then we transition again, and we get conversations with King and Queen, and King ends up calling the Toby Ropo to fill him in on the situation, and he also lets them know that they are not allowed to try for the Calamity position with all the bullshit going on. And I figured that's a given. Like, come on, man. Common sense. So X Drake and Hawkins are in a room talking to each other, and Hawkins say 1%. And X Drake says, for what? And Hawkins said, the chances of a certain man surviving until tomorrow. And the first thing I think most people would say when they hear that is, oh, he should be talking about Luffy here. Luffy always have odds stacked against him, you know? That's the obvious answer. But then I sat back and I thought, one, Oda wouldn't just lay that out there for no reason. Like, if it's that blatantly obvious, there's really no reason to lay it out. We already know that Luffy most likely is going to survive. Like, we already know Luffy is going to survive. The story can't progress without Luffy. So, Oda's not going to throw that out. Plus, if I recall correctly, I'm pretty sure Luffy did get a percentage earlier in the arc about his chances of either winning, or his chances of survival. One or the other. And it wasn't 1%. So there's no reason it should just be dropping out of nowhere all the way down to 1%. Like, that doesn't really make sense. So then I thought, well, there's a couple of factors out there, right? There's Law, who's laid out there, who has death flags around him, where his devil fruit may potentially plays a factor into taking down Kaido, because we don't know if he's truly immortal yet or not. And you got King, who I think is another one who will play a huge role in this chapter, who has a chance of dying. You also got people like Jinbei and Marco, but I don't think they would be talking about them. I think he would be talking about someone who he's aware of also. Hawkins is aware of. So, we then move on. And first of all, Luffy pulling out gear. Do y'all understand what that means if Luffy can just jump in and out of gear 4th like he do with gear 2nd? Do y'all understand the jump that means he's made if Luffy has truly mastered and is able to sustain gear 4th for an extended period of time? Can't nobody hang with Luffy unless you sure enough a big dog. I'm talking about the Yonko. I'm talking about the top admirals like Sakazuki. You're not gonna hang with Luffy if you're anything less than that. If that's what he's truly doing. And he's most likely adding something to his arsenal also. Y'all ain't messing with Luffy. But we transition, right? And who's who comes to X-Drake, to where X-Drake and Hawkins is at. And he talks about, yo, this is an opportunity. I want to go to Queen because there's a man that I still want to kill, and I don't really care about what's going on. So I'm like, all right, pretty predictable about who's who. He been talking about he ain't really messed with the Calamity, specifically Queen like that. Anyway, and Oda throws us for a twist later on. But first, before we get to that, I want to talk about the ninja. I can't skip over the Orochi's ninja fighting the samurai and the long-headed guy. I never remember these names. He turns around and he walks away from the battle. And there's a question mark there in that panel. And you got to wonder where he's going to, right? What exactly is he doing? What do he think is important to just sneak off like that? Orochi? Is he going to Orochi? Who maybe just grew a new head because of his devil fruit? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Let's keep it moving. So we transition, right? And then we see a bloodied X-Drake. And he said, hey, what's the meaning of this, right? And we go to the next panel and this fucking Queen, who's who, with Hawkins peeking around. I guess that's a column. Peeking around looking from the back. X-Drake is bloodied on the ground. Queen has his sword out, indicating that he just did a sword attack to Drake. Comes to find out that they knew this whole time that X-Drake was a traitor. He was the one that helped Law. So now they're trying to interrogate him because they don't know exactly who he's working for, but they know he's working for someone. They know he has a goal. They just don't know what it is. They don't know that he's a part of the Navy. And I seen people talk about, like, And I seen people talk about this situation and they saying this could be a plan that Law, X Drake, and Hawkins had together, or just Law and X Drake, or something along those lines. And I just don't know about that because of the inner dialogue we got from X Drake. It seems like he's surprised by the situation himself. He didn't expect this to happen. And he's saying, like, should I go back to the Navy? No, I don't have time for this. I need to fight. I need to find a way out of here. I need to find something to do. And he decided he was going to team up with Luffy. But before all that happened, right, I think we got some issues in dialogue. First, X Drake said, aha, now I know it was me. I was the man you wanted to kill, Who's Who. And Who's Who goes on to say it was an embarrassment that you was even among our ranks. You're scum, you're trash, all these things. And the one thing that still land none of there is that Who's Who wants to kill X Drake. And that is where the next fight is foreshadowed. Who's Who versus X Drake, I think, is the matchup that's going to happen when it comes to Who's Who. A lot of people were saying it was going to be Zoro. And anytime somebody pop up, it was Denjiro at first. Anytime somebody pop up with a sword, people assume that it's a Zoro fight. And it's really getting annoying because everybody in fucking Wano has a sword. Everybody in Wano has a sword. Is Zoro fighting everybody? Now, I understood King because people assume that he's the second strongest and Zoro usually fights that. But then I said, yo, King is not even using his sword. He's flying. He using fire, bro. He got the gimp suit thing going on. I talked about that, the pervertedness that he secretly has underneath. King, you can't tell me he's not a pervert with that gimp suit on. All this shit aligns to fighting Sanji. And now we see them clashing? So y'all was wrong about that. I guarantee y'all wrong about Who's Who. Zoro is most likely, right now, from what I'm seeing, is going to fight Queen. That's why right after we see Sanji get knocked back, I think in the next chapter, we see Zoro. Was it the next chapter or the same chapter? I don't know. We see Zoro and Queen standing right next to each other. Little things like that, I think, shows you who's going to fight who. And now Who's Who, I'm pretty sure, is going to be fighting X Drake. The Toby Ropo, the Flying Six, is not exclusively there for the Straw Hats. Do y'all not remember Dressrosa and how many outside factors contributed to that war? To that battle? Just pay attention, y'all. Zoro don't have to fight everybody with a sword. There's plenty of people for him to fight. Like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. Subscribe. Comment. And I'm out this bitch. Peace.